What's up YouTube? Today we're going to look at a Traxxas EZ start system. Now, for those that don't know, this was a bit of a revolution in the Nitro world. It was a system that was on board the car with this small motor that would turn the engine over when you plugged in the wand to this plug mounted on the car. Press the button and that one-way bearing would turn and hopefully fire up your engine. It didn't always quite work out like that, but it was a cool gimmick. It's still pretty cool in my opinion to have an onboard starter just like a real car for the engine. And let's have a quick look at how it worked. First, let's look at the wand. This is the sort of size and width and weight of it. It's got a 4-pin plug on the top, and it's got a rounded profile on the top, so it can only go in one way. There's 2 lights, one that says glow plug, one that says motor, so you do get some verification of the 2 systems if they're working or not. In notable case, it's the glow plug one that often fails or has a poor connection, but you need them both to light up to know that your engine's going to start. Then you've got a simple push to connect start button. The way that light verification work, obviously that just completes the circuit when you press the button regardless if the plug's connected, but the glow plug one does need the circuit to be complete through the glow plug in order to get that verification light. I got some cooling vents on the top. I've never noted these to get hot enough to require them, mainly just going to let dirt in, probably contributed to it failing early. And then it's got that clip, bit useful, although it's a bit heavy to have clipped onto anywhere on you. And it's heavy because when you open the bottom, you've got a 7.2 volt sub C cell battery pack made up of 6 cells with a Tamiya plug here. That's the way it fits in there. These days you would probably make up a harness and connect a 2S LiPo, and you could have a much smaller LiPo and make it a lot lighter. But these were common battery packs back in the day. You probably would have either had one, or you could get one cheaply from any hobby store nearby, and that's why they used them. Also, in this application they'll be pretty long lasting. However, as part of your Nitro procedures, you should always be fully charged on all systems before you set out. These clips fit in the front like that, clips down on the back. Pretty reasonable design and execution on the wand. Now the main bit that you're probably interested in is what's on the car, the starting system. Before we get to that, let's quickly look at the harness. So this plug would have been located somewhere on the car. Different Traxxas models, they mounted it in different places, but somewhere that was easy to get to with the body shell still on, so you didn't have to do that removing body shell faff. You could just plug your wand onto that and do it. Now out of it comes 4 wires to turn the starting motor and to complete the glow plug circuit. Now the way these work, the yellow one would be a ground, so you have that connected to somewhere on the engine, usually one of the mounting bolts for the engine, and this would be on the glow plug like that, and it just clips down on the glow plug, very much like a real spark plug for a car. So to connect get this to light up, you need a circuit like this. So one is going to be on the body of the plug, one is going to be on the terminal of the plug. And we can test this is working by connecting it up. Can we see here? So we've got the verification light coming on the wand, and you see that delayed action before the plug heats up. Here we go again. Plug. So in that mode as well, you can already see that there will be a bit of engine spinning before you even get plug temperature to ignite it. So you can note that to not pump extra fuel in the beginning, only a small amount, because the engine will turn over a few times before you've got any plug ignition. So there you go, those are what those terminals look like. Now this is what mounts to the engine back plate. So this is a pretty heavy object to have on your car. It's a 380 sized motor. So that's something like 28mm diameter. You need sort of this kind of space for it. 55. This whole unit itself, something like that, is 93. And the backplate hole spacing is a pretty conventional 27 between the two lower ones. Now the funny shape of it allows it to be mounted in a few orientations on the engine, which gives you a few different mounting options. Here you got the one-way bearing, which goes onto your rear shaft of the engine. That's a conventional one-way bearing. As you can imagine, there's a few gears in there. Traxxas EZ start. Let's have a look inside here quickly. The plastics are well made. It's a good grade of Traxxas plastic, and they tend to last quite well even in the old vehicles. So it's quite a nice piece, decently designed, decent specification for the application of materials. Which means if you were to pick one up second hand, I'd say it was a reasonable bet it will be okay, or at least only need minor fixing. Now let's have a look here. I don't want to get it flying out. There we go. Good size of teeth on the gears. Plenty of downward gearing, decent bushing support. It's reasonable, pretty well made, pretty nicely made there. I think you can buy replacement gears for them if you do need them. Let's get this back together. Just to look at the terminals on the back of that motor. Conventional slide-on terminals. This is the original one with its clear plastic sleeve. This has been repaired with automotive style crimp-on terminal. Again, a standard size has fit there. So that's it. That's Traxxas EZ Start. That's how it works. That's a bit of a technical insight. It's quite a cool thing to have on your car, and might be decent to fit onto a different brand of car. And that's what we're going to look at next in the next video, to see if we can fit this to any other application. So that could be cool. Oh, and before we forget, let's weigh it. Let's see what the penalty is for having this on your car. Saying that, it doesn't actually just have to be a car. It's pretty convenient in a Nitro boat. That would be a pretty convenient application. 141 grams. So yeah, it's pretty hefty. Pretty hefty compared to, say, the Roto Start system from HPI, which we're going to look at in another video. But also pretty cool to have this onboard starting system. So let me know what you think. Have you used one of these? Do you want to use one of these? What do you think of them? Gimmick or practical or cool? Let me know in the comments below.